Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I'm Tonia. This is my daughter Savannah. She's 16, and this is part 2 of our mental health series that I wanted to start. Savannah, if you saw the first one, if you didn't see the first one, Savannah's in therapy. That was my dog. She had to miss therapy for a few months in a row because her therapist left the office and we were waiting for a new one to come in. So she missed a few months and she had her very first therapy session with her new therapist 2 weeks ago. Today was her second one. It was different though because we were supposed to go in person, but she ended up having to do a phone call therapy session instead because sorry, my cats are being crazy. Savannah was exposed to someone with COVID at school last Monday, and because of that, she has to be quarantined for 14 days. So we asked them if they would allow Savannah to do an over-the-phone therapy session. Also, we're eating lunch.
I have ramen.
I have ham and pineapple and chips. Your appointment ended like, what, half an hour ago?
Yeah.
So this one, I was not a part of. I was only part of the first one because it was the first time meeting that therapist. So I haven't yet heard how this went. So I thought we'd first start out with how, like, maybe Savannah can explain how she felt the last 2 weeks after her first appointment. And then go into today's appointment.
Okay, sorry, I'm British now. Sorry, okay. I'll talk in an English accent. And I mean American accent. Okay, so basically, my mood has been like really up and down the past couple weeks. I think mostly last week because I started my period, so I have been like an emotional roller coaster train wreck. I've been like yelling at them for not hanging out with me. So anxiety wise, my anxiety has been high most of the time, but I mean it kind of always is, but like yeah, I've been like pretty anxious lately. I've been sad a few of the days. Nothing out of the ordinary, but like
I just think that the last 2 weeks, or at least the last week, has been probably harder on you just because, one, you're in quarantine, so you can't even see your friends.
Yeah.
You can't leave the house. And also, like you said, you started a period, so Savannah goes through crazy, like, ups and downs on her period of wanting to laugh and cry at the same time, and she'll get all hyper, and then she'll get all down, and she gets real, like, psychotic.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then that on top of, for the last, like, 8 days, she has not been able to go anywhere or see anyone.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's a bummer.
I have been a little bit down in the dumps. But I don't know if I mentioned this in the last video, but I haven't really been able to cry for a while. But I actually have cried a few times. So I see that as kind of a good thing.
I think that was because you're on your period.
I was emotional. I mean, one of the times was completely dumb. I was just watching a YouTube video and I started crying, but...
Why did you cry during a YouTube video?
Because it was so cute. Oh, I cried during, while I was watching Vampire Diaries. Because they were having a funeral and I actually started crying while watching it. A little bit, like I teared up.
So you can cry during fake things, but not real life
yes.
things.
That, listen, I don't know, okay?
And I didn't talk to her much today before the appointment, but she did say that she was nervous for it, which is weird because she's not usually nervous for therapy. And I don't know, it's just because it was on the phone.
I don't know.
You eat noodles a lot in my videos.
Yeah. I love noodles. What should I talk about now?
Okay, so let's start with the phone call.
I've done phone call meetings before with my old therapist. It was different this time though because this is obviously a new therapist and it was only my second session with her. So I think that made it more awkward because we don't have that like good level of communication yet necessarily, or like any sort of connection. So it made it awkward, especially because it wasn't like a FaceTime either. It was just a normal call with audio. So we couldn't see each other, and whenever there was no talking, it was just like eerie silence and it was like awkward.
Really?
Yeah,
I
like
hate
in
that.
between things. It was just silence, and it was like awkward.
I hate that.
Usually when I'm in therapy, I focus on like my OCD a lot, but today we focused on anxiety because that's what I wanted to focus on because I've been feeling a lot of that lately, and like we talked about how I get anxious about like compliments and stuff. Like the other day before I was in quarantine when I was in school, I got 3 compliments in one day. And I felt like I always feel guilty when I get compliments. So yeah, and I talked to her about that a little bit, and we just like basically we spent the whole session doing this activity where I write down a list of, so like whenever I have a negative thought about myself, I was writing down on the list an opposite of those negative thoughts that I usually have about myself. So like for example, one of them was like, I am worthy of love, is like one of them, because like, you know, I feel undeserving and stuff sometimes. So we did that, and she gave me homework for the next 2 weeks.
I was gonna ask you that. I was gonna ask you if she gave you any homework this time. Because last time she didn't, because it was just the first meeting, right?
Yeah. So she told me to keep my list with me, and whenever I have like one of those negative thoughts or a social situation where that like triggers something, to look at the list and see if that helps, to like stop with the negative, and like even if I don't mean it in the time, tell myself one of those positive things, and just kind of like journal about it and write down like, did that help? Did it not help? How many times have I been having those negative thoughts, and what situations did I have those negative thoughts? And yeah, stuff like that.
Did you talk to her at all about the anxiety moment that you had yesterday during your AP Lang class?
No.
No.
See, that's another thing that I didn't really like about this meeting in particular, though, was that it was less time for like talking about my feelings and things that have been happening, and it was more focused on the activity that we did, like the most like of the whole session. Just want to put that out there.
Okay.
Because like you can have some sessions, because I mean they always ask you like to control your own sessions so that you get the most from it. So some sessions you can just be doing activities that are meant to like help you with things, and then other sessions are you spent like just talking about your like what's been going on in your life and stuff like that. Like there's some things that I wanted to talk about that I didn't get to, which is okay.
Yeah, I'm sure if it was something that was at the top of your list, you probably would have mentioned it.
Yeah. But yeah, therapy can be kind of awkward, like, because I get anxious during therapy sometimes, because when we do activities, I feel like I'm doing them wrong a lot of the time, and I feel like the therapist looks at me and is like, she's really dumb, she's not doing this right, like, what is she doing? She doesn't understand this at all, and she's not doing it right. I don't know. Like, yeah, I always get scared that my therapists don't like me, or like that I'm doing things wrong in therapy. I don't know.
That's the reason why you need therapy. So your homework basically for the next couple weeks is to just look at that list, keep it with you,
and reflect on like when I get negative thoughts and why they happen and stuff.
Did you have to come up with your very own positives? Did you have to come up with those for yourself?
We worked on it together. And they were about different things. Like, part of the list was about physical things. Part of the list was about emotional things. Part of the list was about, like, my compliment anxiety type thing.
Well, your next appointment isn't until December 8th, so that's 3 weeks from now instead of 2 weeks. So.
And that one's going to be in person.
Yeah.
If I'm not quarantined again.
Is there anything
I
else?
talked to her about how during school I haven't had any friends because we're split up by alphabet, and all of my friends are in the other. Not that I like have a ton of friends either. It's just like the people that I actually care about hanging out with at school and hanging out with at all, my best friends, aren't in my group. So.
Is there anything else you want to add as far as either how the appointment went or what you're going to do for the next 3 weeks?
I think the activity is good. I think I'm going to be good with doing my homework for the next 3 weeks. And then we're going to talk about that. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was my best therapy session yet, if I'm being honest. I want to be honest. It's like, I don't know. I don't know if it's because she's a new therapist or because I was just nervous, so I wasn't, like, being myself fully, but I don't know. I was, like, freaking out.
Yeah. I think it's a mixture between that was only your second time ever having a meeting with her, and it had to be over the phone. And it couldn't be in person.
And I do this thing where I think that things that I'm gonna do are gonna be like a quick, easy fix. Like I thought medication was gonna like make me feel better all of a sudden. And with therapy, I thought that for some reason I'd be able to just get back into it and feel so much better by being able to talk about things. But I think it's just gonna take a little bit of time.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a really good, like, a piece of advice to put out there, too, is for anyone watching this that either is going through it or knows someone that's going through it. It's important to know that there is no one quick fix for anxiety or OCD or any type of mental illness or anything.
Yeah. You're still gonna have bad days. You're still gonna have good days. And if it's not working right away, that doesn't mean that it's not going to. You just have to like build a connection with your therapist. Or of course there are there's the occasion where sometimes you just don't click with your therapist, which is also okay.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I mean, I wasn't part of this session, so I don't really know what was discussed or anything. Okay, well, I guess we can move on from the therapy part of this, and I'm just gonna give you guys like a update. So if any of you guys watched my vlogs during Vlogtober, you saw that pretty much every single day I was outside with stray cats in our neighborhood, and so I have an update on that. What day was this? Like a week ago or something? There was a knock at our door, and it was the guy, my neighbor that lives like 2 houses down, and he showed up with a pet carrier, and there was a tiny little baby kitten in it, like 2.5, 3 weeks old, one of Fern's babies. These babies we thought were born in the house next to him, like under her shed or something, but he found them under his house. And then they took a few of them to the animal control, and I was worried at first when he told me that, because I was like, yeah, but Fern, I mean, these babies are only 2.5, 3 weeks old. They cannot be separated from the mom yet. And he said that the mom, he saw somebody the day before that or 2 days before that holding her in the street, and none of us have seen her since. And it's been like, what, 2 weeks since we've seen her, I think?
I don't know.
So I think someone took her.
Which sucks.
Yeah.
She was the first one that we like.
She's the first stray that ever showed up at our house.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's so sweet. So yeah, I'm really sad that she got separated from her babies.
At least no one took our Cherokee.
Yeah. But I'm glad that the guy down the street was, caring enough to take them to animal control, to where they're going to take care of these babies and bottle feed them and all that stuff. But he captured one in the pet carrier and brought it down so that I could see it. And he wanted to let me know that, hey, I found all the kittens. They're leaving. We're giving them to animal control. And he was telling me that Fern's gone and whatever. But the weird part was that at the exact same time, Boyfriend was gone too. The gray feral cat that's always out here. So at the exact same time, like, we hadn't seen him or Fern for days. And I was like, so did animal control or somebody just take Fern, the babies, and the gray cat? Like, I don't even know how they would have caught the gray cat, because he's feral. He doesn't go to anybody. So I was like, wow, everybody's gone. All the cats are gone.
We don't even know where he lives.
I don't even know where he goes when he leaves my house. But a couple of days ago, he was back on my back patio again. So he's still around, but he's just not here every single morning eating all the Cherokee's food.
Also, another life update. I broke up with my boyfriend.
Yep.
I'm single again.
That happened a while.
Surprise, surprise.
It was actually a really good thing that she did, because there were some major red flags that we were seeing. Major.
Controlling.
He was a very controlling person, and I think it's really good on Savannah's part that she was, I don't know what the right word is, like, I don't want to say smart enough, but I guess strong enough or confident enough to be like, well, I don't need that. I don't need a guy telling me what to do, so it's over.
Yeah. Especially this fresh into a relationship.
Oh, right. It's brand new. He was already, like, obsessed.
We were, like, dating for a week. Like, officially dating for a week. And then I already broke up with him because he was so, like... He started, like, 4 arguments in 1 week.
Yeah. And he would tell her things like, well, if you have time to talk to your best friend, you have time to talk to me.
Oh, yeah,
so you can't talk to her. When you get home, you need to call me.
Yeah, what started... Our final argument before I broke up with him was... I wasn't answering his texts, and he said, fine, I get that you're too busy for me, whatever, blah, 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 but then he was like, you know, if you can't talk to me, then you can't talk to Hannah either. You can't be on the phone with her right now, your best friend, because, like, no, you have to talk to me tonight instead. And I was like, no, you can't tell me who to talk to.
Yeah.
And when I can talk to them. And he was like, I thought you liked controlling. I'm not controlling. You asked for it, blah, blah, blah. Like, he kind of always found a way to, like, blame me.
That's not good.
Which I'm not surprised that it ended because this stuff always happens to me, but...
Honestly, it's because Savannah, just like most 16-year-old girls, wants to go for the guy who's really into her physically and tells her like how nice her butt looks and like that sort of thing. And usually the good guys are the guys that teenage girls are not into. You need to go for the good guy.
It's not even like that though. Like, it's not like I don't go for anyone. It's whoever goes for me, I start talking to and I give them a chance. But they all end up being problematic in the end and like dramatic and toxic in the end.
Yeah, so that's her boyfriend update and the cat update. Cherokee's still around. Oh,
15 minutes. I'm nervous. I'm scared. AP
Lang thing?
Yes. I was supposed to do a discussion yesterday, and I was in the whole discussion, right, like listening, but I didn't get to say anything. So I asked my teacher if I could just join the discussion of the other class today, like the other half of the class today. And so now I'm doing that, but I'm like really nervous to do that because I'm stressed out about that.
Anyway, I guess I'll go ahead and cut this off here since she has to go back to class in 10-15 minutes. What was that face?
I'm scared.
It'll be over before I know it. Bless you.
I'll do it out here so you can listen. You can tell me, say, no one's talking right now. You better turn on your mic and talk right now,
Savannah. It's so
Savannah.
funny. I thought that yesterday afterwards, after you came out and you were like, I didn't talk. I was like, if I had been in the room with you, I would have made you talk.
I don't want to interrupt people. I hate being rude.
All right, so anyway, that is the mental health update. That is the stray cat update and her boyfriend update. I'm guessing that the next therapy update will come in 3 weeks, but if we have any other mental health things going on until, like, before then, I can make another video about it. And also, I plan on doing Vlogmas, so if you'd like me to do that, comment below and let me know. If you enjoyed my Vlogtober vlogs, I'll do Vlogmas. The thing that sucks, though, is I feel like the thing that really made my Vlogtober vlogs worth anything was Inktober. So I was like, we should do some version of Inktober for Vlogmas, too.
Comment down below if you want to see a Girls' Day vlog, because I want to do a Girls' Day vlog soon when I get out of quarantine and we can, like, hang out.
Yeah, I want to go get her haircut and stuff like that.
Bye, poopies. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that video.
Hit like,
subscribe, and comment down below. Goodbye, poopies. Have a wonderful day.
Bye, poopies.
Christmas poopies.